is still the temple of God. It housed these babies. Hey, don't get me preaching now, please. Stop that body image issue. I don't want to hear anything. Are you ready for the last 5? Oh my goodness, y'all, don't be throwing stones at me. We gotta go there. Okay, now jumping into bed after a long day's work, after all the sweating in all the areas that you can think of, let that sink in for a moment. How dare you? Hey gorgeous, Nokie Evans here, author of Spice It Up. It's time to revive your intimacy and your favorite sexual intimacy coach. I am back with yet another exciting, very educational, and of course maybe entertaining video as promised last week. Okay, so on today's video, I'm going to be talking to the ladies. Hey sis, why do you suck in bed? Remember on my last video, I was after the men. I was telling you ladies and of course the brothers, the indicators or the signs that they suck in bed. If you haven't watched that video, I'm going to link it up here and I'm going to leave it in the description box below. Are we ready to hear why some, of course, it's not every lady, it's not every sister. Are we ready to hear why some ladies suck in bed? And guess what? Remember with the men I only had 10, but with you sisters, I'm really hard on you girls because I want you to do better, and because of that your list is 1.5 times the men. So instead of 10, I have 15 ways or indicators that you suck in bed. And not only that, at the end of each item that I give you, I'm also going to mention a tip on how you can improve on whatever needs to be improved. Okay sis, not only am I being hard on you, but I'm also giving you ideas on how you can improve or remove that suckiness, if there's a word like that. Okay, well, before we get started, some of you, you know yourselves, you've been watching this content, you've been sharing my content, you've been using it in your teachings, and you are not even subscribed to this channel. Hey sis, what's up with that? Why don't you do a girl a favor before you continue and click that subscribe button? Remember to hit that notification bell so that YouTube notifies you every single time that I upload a video. And I tell you, this content is getting deeper, not only deep, but more educational, more entertaining, and more useful to your life, I hope. My whole intention on this channel is to help you improve on your sexual intimacy, especially the married women, so that you can stay in that marriage forever and ever. Amen, like you promised on the vows. Okay sis, and I know you can do better as long as you have the desire to be educated and to improve on your sexual intimacy. Just keep coming back here to gain knowledge, to gain the information. Don't forget to use the comment section to also educate me on some things. I'm not saying that I know everything, but we are here to teach each other. So whenever you hear something and you have another tip, write it on the comment section. It's not only going to help me, but it's going to help other sisters as well. With that being said, also if you have topics that you want me to cover or the questions that you have about your sexual intimate relationship, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section. But if you are not comfortable using the comment section, you can DM me on Instagram on the Spice Up Your Intimacy page. I'm the only one who's going to see that message. Okay sis, all right, with all the housekeeping out of the way, let's get on with it. So like I mentioned on the men's list, that some of these tips are going to be common between the man and the woman, and that of course is normal. At some point I'm gonna have to create another list for you and your spouse why you both suck in bed, because it dawned on me that, you know, at times it's both of you who suck. So I'm going to be working on that one in the near future. Okay, so ladies, are you all excited, comfortable? You got your water? I've got my water right here and got my cell phone so I don't forget anything, because 15 is a long list. You definitely don't want to miss the last 5 because those are so personal. If you don't get number 1 to 10, number 11 to 15 has to hit home for everybody. You ladies, I want you to be better lovers, okay? All because I want you to take care of your men, because if you don't, guess what? Somebody else will. I'm sure most of you don't want that. Enough talking, let's get on to the number one reason why you sis, you may not be the one, but why most sisters suck in bed. It's because of bad communication or lack of it. Most of you actually do not even communicate. Lack of communication can cause a lot of things to go wrong, because you may be putting up with things that do not work for you, things that don't satisfy you, or that don't meet your moral beliefs, that entrench on your boundaries. Now, how do you fix that? Of course, you need to communicate. You need to express what is not working and what is working. When you communicate with your spouse, you will realize that your relationship, especially intimately in the bedroom, is definitely going to get better. Okay, I will not spend too much time on this communication point, because almost all of my videos, they kind of end up talking about communication, because I'm so big on communication. Without communication, there's no relationship. For you and your spouse to get together, there was some communication that had to happen. So for your relationship to get stronger, the communication had to continue getting stronger. Good communication, because there can be good and there could be very bad communication. Good communication has to be the foundation of a rock solid relationship or marriage. Same goes to the bedroom. If there's no communication in the bedroom, and even during the actual act itself, if there's no feedback, you're just mute and you don't even say that is working or that is not working. Actually, I hope I remember what video it was when I was giving you ladies things to say to a man. I'm going to, hopefully by the grace of God, I remember to link it up here, because you cannot be a mute. You need to communicate with your man. The good thing about most men, if you communicate and indicate what is working for you, guess what? They are not going to forget it, because it's their goal. It's an ego booster that they made you happy. So communicate with them the things that they are doing well. Communicate with them what is not working. Give them ideas on what to try. Maybe let's adjust this, or maybe let's change. Let's try a different position, etc., etc., etc. Okay, sis? Now let's move on to number 2. I'm going to try by all means to move as fast as I can, but you know, Lord help me, Lord help me on that one. I need deliverance. Okay, the second thing that makes most sisters suck in bed is lacking confidence. Most of you ladies are not confident. On this point, I'm talking about your body image. Some of you ladies, you are not confident with the way you look. Of course, your body is going to change the longer you stay in your marriage or the older you get. Your 21-year-old body cannot be the same as your 65-year-old body, and your body pre-children cannot be the same as your body after the children. Most of you sisters let that get into their head, and like I've mentioned before, it is that most of you are actually married to very, very wonderful men, and these men, your husbands, sis, tell me if I'm wrong, they give you words of encouragement. They encourage you. They remind you that they love you as you are. Even if you want sex with the lights off, he still loves you, but you don't get it. You are stuck in your ways to say, because you are not confident, it is affecting the way that you are performing in bed. And how do you fix that, girl? You ask me? Be confident, okay? Throw all that mindset out of the window of being less confident. Be confident about who you are. Know who you are. Work on your self-confidence. Build that self-confidence. Do you know that confidence can make a huge difference? Even if you do not know anything, even if you know diddly squats about what you're doing in bed, which I'm going to cover a little bit later on, if you are confident, it will seem like you actually know what you're doing just because you are confident. And it is easier for you to grasp some things, or to allow your husband to teach you and guide you, and he knows that because you are confident, you can learn the way he wants you to. And again, if it's not working for you, back to number 1, you have to communicate. So start working on that confidence, because it's going to make a huge difference. Throw out that body image issue. Yes, we know that you've carried babies in that belly, and thank God you did. You were able to carry those children. Look at the bigger picture. Count it a blessing that your body allowed you to carry those children full term, and you delivered them alive. And those stretch marks, that belly, that second belly, you should wear it as a badge of honor, girls. You still need to work out, okay? You still need to work out. But while you are working on that working out thing, wear those stretch marks as a badge of honor. Wear them as a reminder that in this body, in this belly, I carried, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever number of children you have, just carry that body. It's still the temple of God. It housed these babies. Hey, don't get me preaching now, please. Stop that body image issue. I don't want to hear anything about body image issues, okay? Now, let's move on to number 3. Ooh, that was hard there for a minute. At number 3, you are not prioritizing your sexual intimacy. Your bedtime with your husband, you've put it in the list of priorities. It's like the last thing on your mind. You are not looking forward to it. It's last on the list and you're just doing it as a chore. Because it's a chore, you are just doing it because you feel like you have to do it. It's not a priority. Am I wrong, sis? That's what makes you suck, because you are just doing it to check off an assignment, to complete a thing that is on your to-do list. As long as you are not prioritizing it and not looking forward to it, it is just going to be one of those things. And most of you have all kinds of excuses. Yes, we know you have a 9-to-5 job or whatever shift you have. Yes, we know that you are raising children. Yes, we know that you are a house technician. Yes, we know that you cook, you do laundry, you do all those things. And kudos for doing that, because geez, it takes a very strong woman. It's not easy, and I'm not going to sit here and undermine how hard it is to be a mom. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, or whether you have a 9-to-5 job, or whether you have a home-based business, it is still challenging, because between your business, you still have to do the school runs. You still have to take them to after-school activities. You still have to make sure the house is clean. And the list goes on and on. And because of that, sex is not a priority. Big mistake. Now, Nokie, how do I solve that problem? Put it on top of the list. Number 1, it has to be on top of your list. For it to be on top of the list, you might have to rearrange the way things are done in your house. Communicate with your husband. Get him involved. And if he's got a good job, or if you guys are financially stable, very stable, get additional help. Don't leave the whole house cleaning to yourself. Most of you have these humongous houses where I don't care even if it's a 2 or 3 bedroom or 4 or 5 bedroom house. The work is still a lot. Make sure that you get help. Get some cleaning service. Get some laundry service. You know, now there are people who have businesses just doing laundry. On my other channel, I actually did a video about a laundry service side hustle. So you may have to look into that. However, you definitely need to be financially stable, but I want you to prioritize it. If it means you scheduling it, I think I mentioned in one of my last videos that if it means scheduling it, you have to schedule it. Put it in green, in bold. If it means you schedule twice, 3, 4 times a week, make sure you schedule it and remind your husband that, you know what, we have to schedule this thing. And guess what? He'll be such a happy man, because again, if you don't do it, if you don't take care of him, somebody else will. Okay? And then I'll tell you what to do when you get down to it. Well, in all the videos, I talk about how well you can do in bed. Okay? Anyway, let's move on to the 4th thing that is an indicator that you suck in bed. You know, the other reason why some sisters suck, and I hope it's not you, sis, it's because of failing to express their preferences. Yes, you just going along to go along. If you notice, yes, they are all interlinked. You are failing to say or to state your likes and your dislikes, what's working for you and what's not working for you. And again, you are just doing it to do it. It has become a chore, and because of that, you are just going there and just laying there to allow the man to just do what he's doing, and you are not stating your preferences. It's more like what he wants goes, what he prefers is what is happening in your bedroom, and that's not the way to do it. How do you fix that? State your preferences. State what works and what doesn't work. State your desires. Some of you, if you are failing to state your preferences, that means even if you have desires, you are not even stating those desires. Even if you have needs, needs, you are not even stating those needs. Even if you have things that you desire him to do in the bed, you are failing to express those. Even if you have fantasies without crossing your boundaries or without infringing on your moral beliefs, you are failing to even state them to him. One, because your communication sucks. Two, because I don't know what kind of relationship you have, because if your relationship is growing the way it's supposed to grow, you should get to a point that you are able to state what you prefer and what you do not prefer. At this point in your relationship or in your marriage, you should be able to state your preferences. I did a video about sex after marriage. I think it's the title or the thumbnail. Sex after marriage, what they never told you. I'm going to link it. Geez, I'm linking so many things. Maybe just throw the playlist at the end of the video. By you stating your preference, not only are you getting fulfilled, same as your spouse, because when you state your preferences, you are happy and he is happy because he knows that he's fulfilling your need or your desire. Okay, sis? So please do better in stating your preferences, stating those things that you do not like and the things that work and those that do not work. Never ever forget to give feedback. Like I always say, give feedback, give a word of gratitude. Okay, now let's move on to, I believe, number 5. At number 5, you lack enthusiasm and or engagement. You are not enthusiastic and you are not engaged. Those go hand in hand. Like I've mentioned in one of my videos before, that men will take enthusiasm over skill any given day. A woman who is more enthusiastic is far much better than a woman who is skilled but then they are not showing enthusiasm. They are just doing whatever they are doing just to do it. But if you are doing whatever you are doing with enthusiasm, guess what? Even if you do not know what you're doing or you're still learning on what you're doing, you are way better than somebody who is doing it, who are doing it skillfully but half-hearted. It's way better. That's what men are saying. They would rather take somebody who is more enthusiastic. It's the same as the confident thing. A woman who is more confident, a woman who is more enthusiastic, those two are going to take you far. And on the engagement thing, like I've mentioned in my book, Spice It Up, it's time to revive your intimacy, which I'm going to leave the details in the description box below for you to get on Amazon all over the world. If you are not engaged and you are laying there, I say you lay there like a dead log. Girl, what are you doing in that bed? You have to be active. You have to make sounds. You have to communicate. You have to talk to your man. If you are not engaged, some of you sisters, yes, some of you, you know yourselves, during your sexual intimate moments, you are busy thinking about the school runs, you're thinking about the bills, you're thinking about that co-worker who annoyed you in that cubicle at work. Girl, be present in the moment, be engaged. Remember, they say sex is 90% in the mind. So if your mind is not there, that means you are so disconnected, you are not part of it. And guess what? That is definitely going to make you suck. How do you fix that, you ask? I'm so glad you asked. Be enthusiastic, be engaged. Get my book, learn more about being engaged with the things to do. I know it's a shameless plug, but not only do you need to get my book, but watch all these videos. I have a whole catalog of videos on how you can improve on your sex life. Watch all the free content and just absorb and learn and learn and learn. Keep learning, keep coming back here to learn, because there's a lot of content and there is more to come, because my assignment, my calling, my purpose is to educate you on how to be engaged in bed, on how to be enthusiastic in bed, on how to be confident in bed, on how to communicate with your spouse. Yes, it is my calling. Believe it or not, I was running from it for the longest time. But this is my assignment, my God-given assignment. And that is exactly what I am doing. Okay, sis, please do your best to be enthusiastic and to be engaged in what is happening. Don't let it just be a man's job. It's not a man's job, okay? I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Be enthusiastic and be engaged and communicate with him. And this way, you are going to move from that dead log to that active, spicy mama that God God created you to be as you get into that time of worship with your husband. Let's move on to number 6. I will keep repeating this one until somebody gets it. Performance anxiety. Yes, you are worried about how quote unquote good you are in bed, how you are performing, how is it, are you doing okay? You are too worried. Focusing too much on your performance is making you suck in the bed because you are missing out on being present in the moment. You are missing out on what is happening here and now in that present moment. Your mind is in the performance, it's not in the actual act, and because of that you are not enthusiastic, you are not confident. Yes, because you are worried too much about that performance. This thing of how good I am in bed, it's not only you ladies who worry about this performance thing. I have it on the men's list as well. Be worrying about the activity, how you are doing, if he is enjoying, if he is liking it. Am I good? Am I good enough? Am I doing okay? Nokie, how do I fix that? Quit. Stop the anxiety. Get over being anxious. Be present in the moment. Get rid of the how good you are. Spend time focusing on what is happening now, on the moves. Like I mentioned in my book, always remember to focus on the moment and on the mutual enjoyment for you and your spouse. Be there, enjoy what is going on at that moment, be present. I cannot overemphasize that. And as long as you are present, you're going to see one thing leading to the next and to the next, and in no time you'll realize that, oh, you've had an amazing intimate experience with the man that you love. Okay, sis, let's quickly move on to number 7. And on number 7, this is very common with you sisters. You are emotionally disconnected. That's why you suck in bed. Remember, for you to have a good physical, spicy, intimate session in the bed, you need to be emotionally connected with your man. Don't be checked out. Some people, they've disconnected for whatever reason. There could be a whole host of reasons why you disconnect, which is another video on its own. Even emotional connection, that's a different video. For women, it's all about emotional connection. Have you realized that when you emotionally connect, it's like everything just falls in place? The openness, the careless kind of attitude, you become a calm as you are kind of woman, and you enjoy being with your man because you are emotionally connected. I just gave you what to do right there. Get emotionally connected. Get rid of whatever is hindering that physical and emotional connection, and connect with your man emotionally. And this way, not only are you going to have an amazing time in bed, but that amazing time will have some mind-blowing, toe-coiling orgasms. If you know, you know. Now let's move on to number 8. Some of you sisters, believe it or not, it's not the brothers only. Some of you sisters are guilty of avoiding or skipping foreplay, which is a very, very big mistake. Because of all those other things that I have listed, you just want to jump in and get over and done with it. A rush job, that is more of a quickie. Believe it or not, it's more of a quickie than being sexually intimate. And some of you forget that your body, your own body, sis, needs longer to get ready. You need to have the whole body engaged, including your mind, including your little kitty cat. It needs to be ready and produce that lubrication, which is why you are not going to be complaining about pain, because you are not ready. You need to get rid of that attitude or that mentality of the get over and done with it. Take your time, which is why some of you will have to schedule this thing, because the too much rush thing, it's not going to work. It's making you suck in the bed. As a lady, you need more time to do a proper job, a well done job. Do it when your mind is ready and your body is ready. Fix your attitude. You are enthusiastic and everything is good. You have to work on fixing that as soon as possible. By the time you walk into that room, make sure that you are not going to be going in for a half-baked cake. This one is also on the men's list. If it's your husband who is rushing through it, make sure that you communicate with him. That's part of your preferences. Stay to him that, hey dude, this is not, of course you'll call him whatever you call him, and just tell him that, you know what, I think maybe we need to spend more time in this foreplay thing, because not only did Nokie say that, but it works for my body because I gotta get the little kitty catty ready, and this way I'm also going to connect with you more intimately, and both of us will end up enjoying the session. You know what I mean? Of course, it's not going to be that dramatic, but you get the point, right? So make sure that you do not skip on foreplay for both of you, not just for one partner. And the number 9 thing, which is very, very, very important, it's also on the men's list: neglecting your physical health. Health plays a big role. If you're going to be a spicy mama, you need to take good care of yourself physically and health-wise. You need to have some kind of exercise routine. You need to be fit, especially you guys with busy schedules. You cannot afford to let your body go. It's going to take care of that confidence. It's going to take care of that body. Believe it or not, it's going to make you last longer in the bed, and it's going to make your orgasms even more fiery. I tell you, I know exactly what I'm talking about, because being there, done that, I know the difference between not working out and working out. There's a whole big difference. You are not going to be huffing and puffing after 2 minutes before you're even done with foreplay. If you do end up doing foreplay, you are not going to be huffing and puffing after 2 minutes or 5 minutes, because remember, also your body takes longer to get there. So you need to work out. You need to be physically fit, not only mentally for your emotions, but physically you need to be fit so that you can go all the way. If it means writing all the letters of the alphabet or whatever it is that you want to do, girl, you can do it as long as you are physically fit. That's the solution. Be physically fit. If you have a condition that needs your doctor's attention, get it addressed. If you've got some deeper things that make it so painful, more than the dryness thing, make sure that you go to your gyno or to your GP and tell them that you are having issues. And this way, when you are physically fit and you are healthy all around as much as you possibly can, you are going to enjoy your intimate moments with your spouse. Okay, sis? I know we are getting somewhere with being better, spicy lovers. Okay, let's move on to number 10. Don't forget to click the like button if you are enjoying this content. It helps this video reach other people who may be looking for similar content. Now let's move on to number 10. Oh yeah, number 10, everyone is guilty. Men and women are guilty on this one. Neglecting or skipping on aftercare. Yes, it's not only the brothers who are rolling over and turning over to the other side of the bed after your sexual intimate moments. You sisters also suck in bed, because some of you are doing that. You are neglecting the aftercare. You are rolling over, and some of you are even acting like you are so mad, like something very, very bad just happened, and because of that you're rolling over to the end of the bed, to the other side of the bed. And yet the solution, sister, as much as you prepare before your sexual intimacy act, you need to continue right after. You need to continue showing genuine affection. You need to continue talking to him. You need to continue giving him feedback. Thank him. Tell him what was good about whatever he did, whatever was enjoyable for you, what was different here today than last time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you need to continue with the aftercare, and this way, remember, if you do it, you are also showing him what you want him to do, and he learns from that. Show him exactly what you want him to do to you, and in no time you'll see him also doing that aftercare thing, even though I've also reminded them and I've told them that, hey dude, you cannot skip on that aftercare. It is super, super important. And ladies, are you ready for the last 5? Oh my goodness, y'all, don't be throwing stones at me. We gotta go there. Okay, now at number 11, was it last year? I think it was last year. I did a whole video on hygiene, and I have said before that one of the longest chapters in my book is it all starts with good hygiene. Some of you sisters, you suck because your hygiene sucks. As long as your hygiene sucks, your sex life is going to suck as well, and you're going to miss out on great intimate sessions, because some men cannot stand stinky women, and some of the men are so afraid of you, because some of you ladies are so defensive. The moment he mentions or the moment he tells you about your bed hygiene, he's gonna be sleeping on the couch for the next 6 months, and he does not want to do that. What will he do instead? He'll just be there in the bed with you, but he will avoid being intimate with you, all because because your hygiene stinks. Check out your hygiene. I don't understand a woman who goes to bed with a husband every night, jumping into bed after a long day's work, after all the sweating in all the areas that you can think of, the walking, and some of us are big, some of us have stinky sweat, and you dare jump into bed without even jumping in the shower. Let that sink in for a moment. How dare you? That's why your sex life stinks, because you are stinky. I know some of you are clean, but as long as you go to bed without taking a shower, one, I've said before, you are being disrespectful to your husband, you are being disrespectful to your marriage, you are being disrespectful to your body. And remember, your body is God's temple. You need to take good care of it. You need to shower. You need to make sure you are clean. If you are in a place where it's hard to get water, at least take care of those essential areas, the sweaty areas, the pits, the kitty catty. You need to take care of yourself. And that way, if your man wants to be adventurous, for those of you whose husbands have never even gone down on them, if you change your ways by upping up your game on your hygiene, improving on your hygiene, one day he might surprise you by going down on you. Guess what? The moment he does that for you, your sex life will never be the same. You are going to be praying in tongues. You are going to be calling all the grand people, all the people who have gone to be with the Lord, because he has done something that he has never done before. Fix that problem by starting with good hygiene. It starts with good hygiene. I can talk about hygiene until I turn Snow White in the face, because it does start with good hygiene. You need to take care of yourself, ladies. Okay, go and take a shower if you're watching this at night. Make yourself smell good, smell nice. I'm not saying spray heavy perfumes. And by the way, it's okay to smell good going to bed, but be mindful of the areas where you're going to put the fragrance, because it's gonna be kissing your neck. So avoid the fragrance. Those things can sting in the tongue. Just put something that's not going to harm him. Don't put anything on your nipples. Be careful. Smell good, but don't be spraying strong stuff on your skin directly, because you remember, be mindful. I don't know about your old husbands, but what I know is mine loves to kiss everywhere, from the neck all the way down, all the way, the navel, the thighs, all the way, everything. I'm talking about everything. So what I was saying before the battery died rudely is, I will not stop talking about the importance of hygiene and how it affects your sexual intimacy. There's no compromise, there's no two ways about it, and this goes to both you and your spouse. I don't even know how I forgot to mention it with the men, which is why I need to make a video for both you and your spouse, why both of you suck at times. The hygiene for both people or for one person may really be a challenge, and that can really affect the way one spouse can freely be intimate with the spouse that is terrible or stinking hygiene, or rather bad hygiene. Okay, sis? So I hope you can fix that. Anything, this one has to be fixed first if it is a challenge in your matrimonial bedroom. As long as you know that you are one of those people who just jumps into bed without taking a bath before bed, a shower before bed, that means you are a culprit. And the other thing, ladies, please get into the habit of being aware, self-aware of your smell, because there are some people, when they sweat, automatically their sweat produces smell. There are some people who naturally have that pungent smell, and I always wonder if some women ever take the time to be familiar with their smell. Get to smell, especially your pits. Get to smell yourself. Be self-aware. Do you know that's the hardest thing to tell anybody? Because I come across some ladies who smell, and it's so hard to even mention to them that they quote-unquote stink. Yes, I expect every one of us to be aware of their smell, because if you're smelling to all of us in a car or in a room, how about your spouse in the bed? Yeah, it's something that needs serious attention. If you're one of those people, please make sure that you take care of whatever and be aware of how you smell. Smell fresh all the time. If you're one of those people with that pungent smell, make sure that you don't cover it up with fragrance or perfume, because if you try to cover it up with perfume or deodorant or anything like that, it is definitely going to get worse. Use deodorant every single time. After every time you shower, make sure that you get into the habit of using deodorant, even if you are going to bed. Deodorant is so inexpensive. There are some that, you know, you smell fresh, like the powder fresh. I think it's Secret powder fresh. Usually when I come across something that says powder fresh, it normally really leaves you smelling fresh. So make sure that you take care of that issue so that the man can enjoy his woman. Okay, so same with your husband. I don't know how I forgot to mention this one, because some men are really gross, you know what I'm saying? Some men don't use deodorant, and worse when they don't shave their pits and they've got bushy hair, like it's going to be turned into locks. That causes smell. If you've got hair in those hidden areas, when you sweat, there's a very high chance that you're going to stink. All right, let's move on to another bombshell, which is number 12, and this is it: striving for an orgasm. Yes, I'm using striving because that's the severity of this matter. A woman who is striving for an orgasm sucks in bed. You know why? Because instead of concentrating or being in the moment, all you're focusing on is whether you're going to reach that orgasm or not. It's similar to some of the ones I mentioned. I had to put this orgasm thing as a standalone point because it is very serious. A lot of ladies, they suck in bed because they are striving and they are working too hard to reach an orgasm. And guess what? The harder you try to reach an orgasm, the slimmer the chances are that you're going to reach that orgasm. Okay, I think I've mentioned this before in one of my previous videos. The harder you try, or the harder you strive to reach an orgasm, because that's what you're doing. You're striving. That means you're working extra hard. You're putting sweat and tears in trying to get to that orgasm, instead of taking each moment as it comes and relaxing. Because I don't know, if you are not in the moment, if you are not concentrating on what is happening during that moment, if you are out of your mind and your mind is actually not in what is going on right now, but your mind is in reaching that orgasm, you are ruining the experience, not just for you but for your spouse as well. And like I've said before, who said that every session has to end up with an orgasm? It should not always be the ultimate goal. Yes, it's good to reach an orgasm. It's fun. It's fantastic. It's an experience that cannot even be put in words. But the harder you try to reach that orgasm, sis, you are not going to reach it. And which is why some of you ladies, especially the ones that don't take time to even explore, because that's another mistake that both you and your husband may be making, not exploring each other's bodies. Therefore, you have no idea what really turns you on and what parts need to be touched for you to reach that orgasm. Because guess what, and I'm going to be making a video about this, you don't need no penetration to even reach an orgasm. Okay, yeah, I know it's news to some, but that is true. By the way, make sure that you subscribe, because one of the videos that I'm currently working on is the different types of female orgasms. Yes, there are multiple female orgasms that you need to be aware of, that you need to know about. And on a different video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to achieve whatever orgasm and which orgasm is the easiest to reach, and so on and so forth. So make sure that not just like this video, but make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because girl, you do not want to miss the 5 orgasms that I'm going to talk about. Okay, you definitely need to be on the know. And then at number 13, the reason why some of the sisters suck in the bed is because they have not just misconceptions but severe misconceptions about sex. Yes, there's a lot of misconceptions about sex. Some of you believe that sex is for men, it's for men's satisfaction, it's for men's enjoyment, it's a duty for you, it's a chore for you, which is why some of you, because you have all these misconceptions about sex and that it is for men, which is why most women don't even initiate sex. Sis, you suck if you're one of those with that misconception. Sex was designed by God for you and your husband. husband, and it is for both your enjoyment. Okay, spend time also in the book of Solomon, spend time in the book of Proverbs. Then you'll have an idea about sex, that it is also an act of worship. So why would you just let him just be the one worshiping and you don't? So it's important for you to fix your misconceptions about sex. If you have those misconceptions, fix your mindset about sex if you have a negative mindset about sex. This way, my sister, you are going to turn around your situation and you are going to prioritize sex. You're going to enjoy sex. You are going to be enthusiastic in sex. You are going to be able to communicate about sex. You're going to be able to state your preferences about sex. Should I go on? Okay, now let's move on to number 14. And I do believe that I've mentioned this before. If you are holding a grudge against your husband, if your husband has made you upset, or you are mad at somebody, not just your husband, and you bring it to the bedroom, sis, you suck in the bedroom, because you are denying your man pleasure and yourself. Of course, you cannot be withholding grudges and be mad at people. You need to sort out whatever issue, especially if it's your husband or your children who made you upset. Fix it before you close that door to be intimate with your spouse. Okay, that is the solution. Forgiveness, 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 and forgiveness is just for you. And then number 15, which is definitely linked to number 14, did he cheat on you? If he cheated on you, whether emotionally or physically, most of you are going to suck in bed, because you are doing it as a way of punishing him, which again, you need to get that issue taken care of. You need to fix whatever problem is in your marriage. I know it may sound easier said than done, but it's important for you to fix it. Don't ignore it. And that goes back to communication. If it means involving counseling, involve counseling. If it means involving your pastors, involve your pastors. Though I know at times church people are not the best to share things with, because you know it's going to be spread around the whole church. Just saying, you know, that's why most people don't even trust sharing with fellow brothers and sisters. So at times, seeking professional counseling may be the best, because if you go to someone who is not known by the people in your circles, this way you can freely share whatever issue is at hand. Look for a professional counselor who is also a Christian. This way you are covering both ends. You are taking care of the spiritual aspect and you are taking care of the professional counseling side. I really encourage you, sis, that if your husband has stepped outside, or he has cheated on you, whether emotionally or he has physically cheated with someone, make sure you get help. And the bonus one that's just coming to my mind as I wrap up this video, some of you ladies, you are withholding sex. This is not even about you sucking in bed, but you are punishing him, maybe because you've been in an abusive situation. If you've been in an abusive situation, again, like the cheating one, make sure that you seek professional help. And if that abuse does not stop, make sure that you find a way out, because nobody, no child of God should be put through abuse. And especially if your life is in jeopardy, you need to make sure that you seek help, make a plan to exit. I hardly tell anybody to leave their marriage, but if your life is in jeopardy, get help and get professional help. Okay, sis? Oh geez, there's absolutely no way that I can put away my camera without mentioning another thing that can drastically affect a woman's performance in bed, or the way she even relates or desires to be intimate with her spouse. And this I also mentioned with the men. So this makes it number 16 very important. If a lady has experienced past trauma abuse and all that, whenever she gets to be intimate, there could be some triggers. This will take a lot of communication, some therapy, some counseling, professional help, and a very supportive husband that will help her heal through those situations, the past trauma, molestation, child sexual abuse when they were younger, when they were teens, and those things stick with us. Get help, because some of these things, they do come up later. They become triggers. Every time it's time to be intimate, somebody may be triggered. They may have flashbacks, or things can happen. Some sisters may actually have, just like men, sexual orientation confusion. women. Yeah, it can affect their sexual orientation. So the trauma, the abuse and all that, it's something that cannot be ignored. Therapy is needed. There's no shame in getting therapy. That is getting help, and get over that and get healed and start enjoying your marriage. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. It may take months, several months. Yeah, it can take several months and a lot of professional help and spousal support for you if it's affecting you to get over that. If you're watching this and you are not married yet and you're preparing to get married, this is one of the things that you need to take care of. If you were ever abused or went through child molestation or some adult had touched you in an appropriate way, before you get into that marriage, make sure that you seek professional help so that you get over that situation, and this way you are not just doing your spouse a favor, but you are doing yourself a favor as well. I really thought this was an important point to add before I start editing this video. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, I know for sure that you're going to enjoy this next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Share it with your aunties, your besties, your WhatsApp groups and your co-workers. Please share these videos with the people that you share information with. I'll really appreciate it. Don't forget to keep it spicy. Remember to do small things with great love. From my heart to yours. Adios. Bye-bye. God bless you. I love you. I sincerely do. Take care. Bye-bye.